seriously dangerous people who actually had a breakdown in court upon sentencing. They cried like babies and some of them even collapsed. They acted like thugs and gangsters when they committed their crimes, but in the end, they cried like little kids. If you like these videos and if you can stand my shitty accent, make sure to subscribe if you're new and smash that bell thing to turn on notifications so you can keep up with the craziest uploads. Dylan Schumacher was only 16 when he killed his girlfriend's little son. The child was only 2 years old and apparently Dylan shook him and beat him until he died because the child was crying for some reason and Dylan got annoyed and angry because of that.
Shoemaker was sentenced Friday for beating 23-month-old Austin Smith last March. Shoemaker and his defense attorney fought for the minimum sentence, 15 years to life.
My client's inability to either control his anger or frustration and his inexperience in babysitting. Based on his short life.
This man was convicted of attempted murder for opening fire on a rival gang member on the USC campus, injuring 4 people. He cried like a real baby after he was sentenced to 40 years to life in prison. You wanna be a gangsta? Well, think again.
21-year-old Brandon Spencer of Inglewood bangs his head as a judge sentences him to 40 years to life after he was convicted of shooting a rival gang member. Today in LA Superior Court, Spencer begged for mercy from Judge Edmund Clark Jr. before sentencing.
Parole eligibility is 15 years plus 25 life in accordance with Penal Code Section 12022. Read D, this is to be concurrent.
This monster killed a young woman and badly injured her boyfriend because they had no money to steal. He acted like a gangster, but when he got sentenced to life in prison, he collapsed and started crying.
For defense Servituro, life without parole. As to count 4 for the offense of attempted murder violation.
This reaction from a want to have Porsches like this? Or simply wear a fancy watch like this AP over here? Confessed killer was
life without parole. As to count 4 for the offense of attempted murder violation.
This reaction from a confessed killer was the last in a series of intense moments in this Hamilton County courtroom.
The House Department mandatory consecutive underlying offenses. All those counts consecutive each other. Pressure time served about 349 days.
The families say this was the first step toward healing.
I guess these tears will make you satisfied after you hear what this guy did. Jacob Morgan was only 17 when he intentionally and maliciously set the fatal fire that killed his 14-month-old brother. He got charged with arson and murder of his baby brother.
He has to take responsibility. So there's much more here than probable cause. So I'll ask the court to find probable cause both charges in this case.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Testimony. Both sides. Question testimony. I believe the state has, in fact, been convicted. Therefore, I am going to find that there is probable cause to charge the individual with the found over for General Sessions Court.
Okay, so I do not know what these 2 females did, but I do know they got sentenced to life in prison. So my guess is they actually murdered someone.
YouTube video, let me ask you, how would you like to learn 3 simple strategies to get clients to pay?
This accused cop killer broke down in the courtroom when he heard he was gonna spend the rest of his life in prison. It is interesting how he had the balls to kill a police officer, and then in the end, he cried like a little boy in the courtroom.
I understand, what I did is a terrible thing, but I wasn't the only one in this situation.
Faced with the death penalty, an exasperated Thompson told the judge he worried about getting a fair trial.
Your Honor, just execute me then, because I can't get any kind of justice. I'm tired. I'm at the end of my rope. What can I do?
In Summit County, Elisa Amigo.
So this monster stabbed and killed his own mother. It is horrible when somebody does that to a person, and it is absolutely terrifying. When you stab your own mother, he deserved a big punishment, and he deserved to cry. Suge Knight is a bad boy from Compton who was once a notorious record producer and music executive. I say was because he doesn't seem so tough anymore. He ran over 2 people and ended up in prison, and here is the clip which shows him fainting in the courtroom when his bail got set to $25 million. Not so tough anymore, I guess. This 20-year-old guy was sentenced to 50 years in prison for brutally beating a toddler who nearly died. The kid survived and he is now okay, and this guy got what he deserved.
The man sitting here today is not the one I once knew. He is not the one I fell in love with. He is a coward, and forgiveness is not an option for me.
After everyone had their chance to speak in this Wapello County courtroom, it was Dustin Armstrong's chance to say something about what he'd done.
Do you have anything you wish to say to me prior to my announcing what I'm going to do here today, sir?
Hey, stop. Before you watch your next YouTube video, listen, I noticed that you watched one of my
Oh, Your Honor.
That's what I see when I look at Dustin. I don't see a monster.
Criminals do not like cops, but they like to see them in prison. This cop is surely having some hard time in prison right now. I mean, he knew what was gonna happen to him inside, so I guess that's the reason why he cried. But hey, he's a cop rapist, so he deserved it.
Count 4. Procuring lewd exhibition. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring lewd exhibition, and punishment is set at 5 years. Count 8. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy, and punishment is set at 20 years. Rape in the first degree. Defendant is guilty of the crime of rape in the first degree, and punishment is set at 30 years. Count 13. Sexual battery. Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery, and punishment is set at 8 years. Count 14. Sexual battery. Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery, and punishment is set at 8 years. Count 15. Procuring lewd exhibition. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring lewd exhibition, and punishment is set at 5 years. Count 34. Sexual battery. Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery, and punishment is set at 8 years. Count 27. Forcible oral sodomy. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy, and punishment is set at 16 years. Count 29, rape in the first degree. Defendant is guilty of the crime of rape in the first degree, and punishment is set at 30 years. Roll call. This jury finds guilty of the various counts to the custody of the Oklahoma County Sheriff for formal sentencing set January 21st, 2016 at 10 o'clock a.m.